It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel.
What's up, y'all? It's me, Rhonda.
What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda, and I'm back to talk about Ready to Love.
Who is your favorite artist? Like, who would you say you, I don't want to say influence, but I think, we all influenced by things that we like.
Can I say two?
Yeah.
So Drake and J. Cole probably influenced me the most.
Okay, I asked the question, so I gotta accept the
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
What's the first three songs on your playlist?
Back Outside Boys by Drake.
Not Drake. I don't think you like it.
I do.
I can't tell.
What te- no tequila is like sweet. You know what I mean? You just gotta man up. Feel
I
me?
don't drink tequila and I don't man up.
What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Let's get into this daily dose. It's a lot going on. It's hard enough to keep up. Before we get all into that, let's go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm on my way to 500. I need 157 more to get to 500. Once I get to 500, I think I'm gonna start doing some lives, switched up a little bit. Lately, like all we got is Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I'm gonna look at it as an opportunity to add something else to this channel that I'm trying to grow over here. So I'm gonna try to check in, and give y'all a daily dose. This time I got quite a bit because the dose has just been piling up on me. And I was trying to figure out, like, how I'm gonna give this to y'all. I think I got it figured out. It's a work in progress. So, like I said, like this video, let's go ahead and get these subscriptions up. And where are we gonna start? Well, let's start here. This feels like, somewhat of the beginning of the story to some extent. You know what I'm saying? The Grand Wizard went over there and sacrificed some of his clan members in order to have this amazing photo op and, moment. We're going to call it a moment that he was looking for. And the way he told the story, it sounded like a romance novel, y'all. I was like, it was a warm summer night and the wind was gently blowing through my hair. And I was looking out on the crowd of people. It was a beautiful night, ladies and gentlemen. And all of a sudden, out the blue, I felt a hot piece of metal graze the side of my ear, y'all. If I had been 1 millimeter more, I would not be here with y'all today. I don't belong here. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It was very strange. The whole thing was very strange. I was like, what happened? Because usually, like, when something happens like that, you can be getting in a car accident. And when you have to relive it in your head, you kind of like moments are just kind of flashes of things. You know what I'm saying? But for him, it was quite romantic how the plexiglass had hit him upside the head when he, fake orchestrated this situation where one of his faithful members come down there and create a moment. Y'all cult members can believe whatever it is you want to believe. I believe, okay, he rehearsed this story from a long time ago because the way he told this like beautiful, elevated story with so much detail, it just seems like, he practiced it for a while, probably since last year when he first started the campaign, but that's my opinion. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Anyway, somehow or another, the story got, convoluted a little bit. And then they was like, don't worry, he's fine. It was just the glass that had busted him upside the head. And that don't really go along with the 50 Cent theme that the internet put out there for him. He's like a Twitter boy and stuff, and, internet boy. So he like was seeing all the memes of 50 Cent. And he was like, nope, it can't be the glass. It's got to be the bullet. It's only a good story if it's the bullet. And then when I walk out, I could play the song. Since I'm all gangster, because I'll be going to jail and get shot up and things. That's what they said. I said what I said. Anyway, the cult members went crazy. It was like, we're gonna wear a bandage on our ear too, so we can be in unity with our leader. and his folks that he bringing along with him. Anyway, what else happened, y'all? So when you're gonna turn yourself into a fake ass rapper, who do you call to make you legit down here to the hood? You call Amber Rose, because she's the girl that the rappers go to when they need, I don't know what they need. I don't know what you needed. I don't know who told y'all to get Amber Rose, but that wasn't what you probably should have did. But anyway, y'all brought Amber Rose over here to say that she is so happy that she found her people. Look at her people, y'all. Congratulations, Amber. She said, it was Wiz that convinced her to go ahead and be public with this. And I was like, was it? Well, I was wondering what you think, Wiz, about your girl over here with her people. She got an interesting crew she working with. Apparently, Wiz was somewhere in Romania smoking weed on stage and getting arrested because, like, God forbid you go somewhere without a joint. Is that all you got? Like, I'm not, anti-smoking. I'm just like, are you performing though? Then why does that need to be part of your performance in a country where it's not legal or wherever or whatever? I'm just saying. I ain't gonna blame him. I haven't heard him say anything. If these are your people, girl, say it. These are your people and you're proud. She says she got over there and she saw these white gentlemen sitting there in suits, and she decided how this could probably be intimidating. And this is probably why, we as a people, and I don't know which we she was talking about, because we ain't them and they ain't like us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. She said these men in suits were not necessarily our standard. And that's why it made us so intimidated and uncomfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Please don't speak on behalf of us and our standards, because you already made it very much clear that this ain't what you over here doing.
I do not consider myself a Black woman. Absolutely not.
I feel like us over here in this space, it's a Black space. And I mean, if it's not something that you're proud to say, that's fine, because for you, that ain't what it is. And that's not what this is about. It's about you and your people. Your crew is kind of, girl. And I feel like we've had a lot of representation of men in suits with something to say. Now, I am gonna say this. When you was over here in these Black spaces, these spaces that are Black, that, we're clear. That's not what you do.
I do not consider myself a Black woman. Absolutely not.
You chose some interesting characters of not suit wearing type of individuals. And if I sit up here and try to have a conversation or thought about Kanye, we would be here all the way, led down a path that, don't have nothing to do with what's going on here. But I do remember at some point, wasn't Kanye part of this crew over here? Yeah. So, I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot left to say about that. Anyway, I would like for you to not make any assumptions of what the standards that we have over here in our, community that you only like to be a part of some of the times. But, now that you found your people, be more concerned with what's going on over there. Let's talk about it. JD Vance. Who the hell is he? So who the hell is JD Vance? Well, let's see. He's from Middleton, Ohio. Population 51,000. That's not a whole lot of people. 51,000. Small little town. 71% of it is non-melanated. I think it was like 11% Black. 3 different variations of Hispanic. What is going on with that? I mean, it's the breakdown for me. And listen, I'm in the black box. That's the one I check proudly. So if you need to break your culture, your, ethnicity down into 3 different types of, I don't know who's over there doing that. It just seems strange to me. But anyway, it's a small town. He's a self-proclaimed hillbilly, and you could do whatever you want to do with that. He seems to think that this country is being run by a whole bunch of lonely cat ladies. And we need to reevaluate what we see in, family, structure. The people with children, they should have more to say about things.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable.
That's interesting. So let's talk about his childhood. His mother had 3 different husbands. By the time he was 11, she was abusive. At one point, this dude said he had to jump out the car and run to some stranger's house because his mother was going to kill him. That's traumatizing, I imagine. Mostly, he was raised by Mama and Papa. And he describes them as the scariest people that he knows. They stayed strapped, something a little in the pocket, in case they had to be ready to handle some business. Mama and Papa. Over there in the hills and cornfields of Ohio. How many names has this man had? He was born James Donald Bowman. He grew up in the suburbs of Middleton. He's not poor. He went to Yale. Where Mama and Papa do? We know his mama was over here doing whatever she was doing, but he got to Yale. So where the money at? What'd they do? He changed his name again to Jimmy Hamill. He changed his name to J.D. Vance 10 years ago when he married his wife. Why you keep changing your name? That's different. I feel kind of an attachment to my name. Can't be just changing it around. It kind of like, confuses the structure of where you came from. You know what I'm saying? You cousin JD from the cornfields of Ohio over here changing your name for a whole bunch of different reasons that we don't know yet. You sound like one of Trump's friends, but you hated him at one point. That's interesting. What else about JD? I feel like JD is a little disturbed based on just the way he was raised. It's concerning. What is Mama and Papa so worried about that they got to be over here strapped like that, JD? Anyway, this is the person that, wants to run on this whole traditional family values. And I don't know, ladies, if you want to have a voice, go get knocked up. I don't know. I guess that's the message. He's very, very much concerned about abortions and women being able to cross state lines. And he's policing, it feels like. He's policing the women real tight with their uteruses and things and what should be happening with it. You know who else is out here policing? Deputy Sean Grayson. I said Deputy Sean Grayson. I feel like they keep calling him deputy. We think that every time we see Deputy Sean Grayson, we should know his name too. And then Sean, maybe you should do like your boy JD. And then, if you get out of prison, because hopefully that's where you'll be, then you might want to change your name a bunch of times. But for right now, you're Deputy Sean Grayson, not just deputy. not a deputy, not Ohio deputy, Deputy Sean Grayson. I'm not really gonna go into so far what he did, because we know what he did. The thing that concerns me, I think, about this situation is the immunity that your boy Trump wants to offer up to policemen. Trump's vow for police immunity could spell trouble for Black communities. You think? We're going to give our police their power back, Trump told supporters during a rally last week in Waukesha, Wisconsin. We're going to give them immunity from prosecution. The twice impeached and 4 times indicted former president made a similar statement in December 2023 during a campaign event in Iowa where he promised to indemnify police officers to shield them from prosecutional harm. I'm sure this goes back farther than 2 weeks, but this is definitely a quote from one of his speeches. I'm just saying that's scary as hell. And if the Grand Wizard gets elected, well, you best believe Deputy Sean Grayson, he's been charged. He's not been convicted. So yeah. Amber, I'm glad you found your people. So what else is going on? So Joe Biden dropped out the race. And then he endorses Kamala. And the people went. Then the money came. Black women, 81 million. Black men, 1.3 million. White women, 8.5 million. The LGBT community, LGBTQ, and the rest of all the letters, 300,000. It's funny to me how the groups have very much segregated themselves in order for you to see exactly what. So when y'all be pulling out numbers and statistics, I feel like the people made it easy for you with these phone calls. 200 million in the first week. That's nothing to sneeze at. I believe they called it record breaking. I don't know, how the Grand Wizard is gonna feel about them numbers. He, likes to be the best and the first at things. Be the first at being stupid. She hasn't even done anything yet. She hasn't said anything yet. It all kind of has been a whirlwind for all of us. The Grand Wizard keeps running his mouth and it seems to be working in her favor because, honey, we looked up this weekend and the Villages was having a full-on tailgate party, honey. That was off the chain. Now, I live in Florida, and I went to high school in Ocala, which is very close to the Villages. And it's very much a white retired community that travels by golf carts because everything that they have right there in their retirement, very Trump supporting community is, they got restaurants, they got Target, they got stores, they got a little situation over there where it's just them and their little villages. And they travel, like I said, by way of golf cart, where they took their happy little golf carts on down there this weekend and showed out, Beyonce in the background and all. And all of us here in Florida were like, what? What did the man say? I don't know what he said, but if it's causing this type of reaction, I would like for him to keep doing it. I hope she definitely takes advantage of the DNC and, show out. Say something, keep the momentum going. Seems like we're running away from whatever crazy thing is happening over there with the Grand Wizard and his clan. His clan cult clan. As for us, I feel like we definitely need to pay attention to the things that are going on behind the scenes. You know, the presidential election comes with a lot of hoo-ha, but over here in Georgia, they being sneaky in the back scenes.
Everybody, I did another post about this, but I'm going to do one with a little bit more details. So the Georgia Board of Elections, they're plotting a coup at the Georgia Board of Elections right now. So over the last few months, the Georgia Republican Party has replaced two of its members on the State Board of Elections with people who are more focused on election denial and relitigating the 2020 election. And so Tuesday was the first day that they had their full majority, and the board had already been engaged in this process where a number of election denier MAGA types have began submitting rule changes to the board for changes to the rules of the Board of Elections, meaning the rules that apply to the elections. And that meeting was packed with really fanatical conspiracy theory types, just to the gills with just really, really, really unhinged people. And they ended up passing two rules on Tuesday, one of which, and this makes them, moves them forward to be made up as rules. They've approved them to be made as rules. And so the public will still have an opportunity to comment on them, but they have proposed two rules, one of which would allow to delay certifying the results of any precinct that had any discrepancies, not regardless of whether they actually affected the outcome of the election. And the second rule would mandate that there are hand counts of all ballots on election night. And those rules are pretty clearly designed to give them a reason and the ability to not certify the elections in 2024 in November if they lose. That's what they're clearly planning. But then it gets crazier. So yesterday, the three Republican appointees of the Board of Elections called their own meeting without the chair and without the single Democratic member of the board. They have been told now by the Attorney General and by numerous other people who have understanding that what they are doing is illegal, but they are going forward with this meeting today at 4 p.m. And I'm going to go live on it, and it's in another post, but check it out if you get a chance. But yeah, this stuff is really getting crazy here in Georgia, and they are clearly angling to try to interfere in the election in November. That is their goal. It's really dangerous, guys.
Now, even though, you know, we had to gather our composure and figure out, you know, what was going to go on over here, and somewhat got ignited, more ignited than I've seen us like during this whole time. Ignited and excited. And of course, you know, Amber Rose and her crew of people over there, well, they feeling some type of different. Seems like they always got to lead with name calling and immaturity. There's nothing ever smart coming from over there on those very extreme sides of the fence. I'm not saying everybody with a difference of opinion. I'm saying people like this guy here.
DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
DEI.
No, sir. Hatu girl is one of yours. And the people said she out here getting paid quite a bit of money for that viral. Wonder if she's registered to vote. What in the hell is going on over here in Ohio? Senator Lang has something to say, child.
Fight! 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 We got time. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight for our kids and our grandkids a fight that we can never imagine. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
See, these are the ones we need to be careful about. Yeah, I mean, you know, the presidential election is a big deal, but it's these senators and these congressmen that be over here passing laws and things. And that's concerning when your lawmaker is over here threatening a civil war. And what does that even look like for Ohio and everywhere else? When you say civil war, what are you thinking? I need to know the details. It doesn't sound good. At least it didn't for the Black folks or the people of color last time around. That's why they want to take this truth out of this history and add the 10 Commandments. We want to retell the story in a way that keeps the children unarmed and unintelligent and off guard for when we, you know, bring it on back a couple few hundred years. Trump put a call out to the Christians. He wants y'all to come over here and vote. Come on, Christians.
Again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote.
He said what he said. And so when you piece together immunity for the police and clearly the president, and civil war conversations, no more right to vote, that's concerning. It's terrifying, actually. Are these the Christians that he was calling on?
Sit down. What are you coming up here to do? You want to come take over the service? Huh? What do you want? What?
I just want a prayer, Ed.
Get out of here.
Can I get a little grace?
No, you can't. No, you get out of here. Get him out of here. Drag this bozo out. Pull him out. Hey, help him out. Get him out. And you know what? Anybody wants to come up here and take over the service? We'll throw you out of here, buddy. This church is not a free-for-all. This isn't an open mic. This isn't a karaoke bar. Okay? I'm the man of God here. I meet the qualifications. I run this church. And if you don't like it, then get out. This is not some church where every first-time visitor and brand new believer and people who've never even read the Bible are going to come up and take over the service. Not happening. Okay? If you want that kind of watered-down leadership, go to some house church with your Amish buddies and sit around the coffee table with your coffee clatch. This is a New Testament church. We have a bishop here. We have an overseer here. Like it or lump it. And if you don't like it, feel free to get up and leave the service at any time. Or 50% of people walk out. I don't care. Because you know what? I'm not going to pastor a oneness cult. Amen. I'm not going to pastor a Pentecostal church. I'm the pastor of a Baptist church. Amen. And if you're not a Baptist, then get out.
Now, he said he's a man of God and he meets the qualifications. And I was like, what are the qualifications? And how do you meet them? And what Bible is he preaching out of? Because that's the angriest Bible I've ever seen in my life. Here's another one.
I want to make myself very clear today. It's on tape, and I want you to look me in my eye. I am not pastoring a church where the teenagers lay all over each other like a bunch of dogs in heat, fondling each other while I'm trying to preach the word of God in this pulpit. Your kid ain't doing it, and your kid ain't doing it. I have instructed my security staff to pick you up by the seat of the britches and throw your wicked tail out of here. What kind of girl would let a boy follow all over her in the house of God? If you're that wicked to do that in church, what in the Sam hell are you doing when you're not in church? You're not going to play with your cell phone. You're not going to lollygag around. You're not going to talk. Hey, Justice. Hey, Justice, look up here. Hey, Justice. Hey, Justice, look up here while I'm preaching, son. Yeah, I'm preaching to all that crowd back there, and you included. You ought to have your eyes on your preacher while the man of God's preaching. You shouldn't be falling around. I ain't putting up with it now. I don't give a flip whose kids you are. And I'll tell you how you parents stop this nonsense. Make your kids sit in the pew with them, and when they act up, smack the living hell out of them. Now stop this bunch of nonsense. Now I'm telling you, I ain't putting up with it. I come here to go to church. I ain't a referee. I ain't fooling around with a bunch of people laughing and giggling.
What kind of girl will let a boy fondle all over her? What kind of boy would be over there doing that? Why is he so worked up? This is very curious to me. He is just so angry. I want to know what was the fondling? Who'll be at church fondling each other? Do you have an unnatural attraction to this young lady that was getting fondled on? You seem like you in your feelings a lot. And again, you want to throw their wicked tails up out of there. They're throwing the people out the church. Wicked tail self. This has to be my favorite of them all.
Kitchen. I want all the girls, all the teenage girls to say kitchen. Oh, hey, don't showboat on me. I want all the teenage girls to on three say kitchen. 1, 2, 3. That ain't all the teenage girls. One more time before I lose it. I want all the women in this building to say kitchen. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they ought to take them out of most homes because you don't use them. Somebody say amen. Make a bonus room out of it.
This man said, get your wicked tail in the kitchen where you belong. Ask J.D. Vance. I think that's where he wants women. Women got the right to vote in 1920. People of color got the right to vote in 1965. That's only 59 years ago. So when you put it into perspective, these rights that have been being taken away from women, people of color, people of the LGBTQ community, I think those are things that you should be concerned about. Girls, I hope you have bigger aspirations than just being in the kitchen. Some women may even have aspirations of being president. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see y'all tomorrow for another daily dose. Bye, y'all.